In the latest Speargun build video, we're going to go over what makes this build unique with carbon fibre and wood, as well as 2 shaft and rubber setups. Stay tuned for the upcoming video. Okay, welcome back to another video, everybody. I'm Sam Price from OXS Enterprises, based here in the Bay of Islands, New Zealand. As mentioned in the intro, this video right here is about this gun right here. Firstly, I'm going to put these away, and we're going to go over what this gun is. Now this, to start with, has been the most popular setup of any of my guns I've built. It is a 110 Alpo model Speargun. The wood consists of New Zealand timbers in the form of matai and selignan. Now this makes for a very durable and very well ballasted gun. There are very minimal ballast tweaks I find with a hybrid use of woods. They also contrast each other well. This one here in particular is a 5 laminate gun, 3 across, 1 top and bottom. Super strong stock. As you can see here, the grain on the top is probably the best looking part of the gun. That is the selignan showing, and of course the carbon fibre sides. Now I run composite sides on all my guns. I think it adds great durability to the guns. It also can allow you a really unique look to your gun, and the carbon fibre with wood always comes out better than I think it does. I always think it looks great, and every time I do one like this, I see it and I go, overall a very simple wood stock. I try to keep these as smaller diameter as possible, so they're not like swinging a huge piece of lumber through the water, which is one of the most common gripes with wood spear guns. Of course, they are still a little more bulky than a standard pipe gun, but the durability and the look and the performance of these is just, I mean, I make them. I think they look great. I'm just trying not to get too ahead of myself. I think they look absolutely fantastic and perform well. So this setup here that we've got, as I mentioned in the intro, we've got 2 setups. This setup right here is a 7.5mm hunt shaft, which locks it into the Hunt reverse mech. These are super light to load, super light to pull the trigger. Really nice looking, just well engineered mech with connected to a very well engineered and durable shaft. Now this 7.5mm setup is propelled by 16mm rubbers. The wishbones currently are a little long. Those will be adjusted by the customer, and this is connected all the way through 1.9mm Aussie Reel Dyneema with a bowline knot to the shaft, all the way back to the black Aussie Reel. So it's kept the gun styling in pure black and wood finish, and I think it looks, you know, it's not personally what I would choose. I like a little bit more color and things that I use, but I think it just looks absolutely fantastic, as well as a little MC engraved up under here, under one of the guides at the front there, and just the initials of the customer. So overall, really solid package. This is going to be very well performing format, and I will touch on, so as per Matt's request, he wanted a gun stock that he could set up for himself as well as his son. Now the setup for his son, we're running 14mm rubbers and a 7mm shaft. Now again, the wishbones on these are a little bit longer. These will be trimmed up because his son is 12, so they're fairly standard length 14mm rubber, but if the wishbones are a little longer, and he can pull these back, no worries. Then all they have to do when they're swapping rubbers around is just trim, or either tie the Dyneema and have a little bit of Dyneema sort of poking out the end of the knot, or just trim them up and make them all nice and clean to where he can always use them. I prefer that setup because you can literally just trim Dyneema and shorten them, as opposed to a slightly more complicated trimming of actually trimming the rubbers down. So that's there with a 7mm shaft. I currently have that a double wrap length of mono on there, but I'm going to rig that back after this video to a single wrap, and that will also be the removal of the reel. So 2 quite differing setups built on the same stock. I stock both Hunt and Aussie reels. We've decided to run with the Aussie reel because all you have to do is undo the drag knot all the way by hand. The reel pops off, and then there's 2 screws underneath, which that's how the reel comes off. Nice and simple. My only probably concern with that is that I do have a feeling that from time to time a screw or washer or things like that could potentially end up in the bilge of the boat, and that is something that probably the fiddly side of having a 2 shafted and 2 setup stocked gun it's probably going to be the biggest drawback. That's really the thing I can think of, unless of course you're setting it up at the start of the day and leaving it alone, and that would again probably be how I would do it, just for the fear of losing a part or something like that mid-dive. So yeah, I mean, awesome setup, really fantastic looking setup. Something like this, this cost him, I think off the top of my head, 1,130 New Zealand dollars, and this is of course with this custom built stock, the reel, 2 shafts, 2 sets of rubbers. There's actually a hell of a lot of gear here. You know, you're getting towards the cost of 1.5 just custom timber built guns. 2 custom setups would not have been a hell of a lot more expensive for him, and potentially more practical. But of course, if Matt comes to me in the future and wants another stock build or something like that, I'll be able to do him a pretty good price on it, because he's already got this current existing setup. So that's it really. It's pretty much just a simple look. I don't go too in depth with what these are because it's a customer's gun. But if you yourself or anyone you may know would be interested in a custom wood setup or something off the shelf, I do have a couple off the shelf items, and I am working on rollers. I've been testing a roller for a little while. Feel free to get in touch. sam@oxsenterprises.com is my email, and all my contact details will be down below. There'll be a playlist popping up with lots of spearfishing content, other gun builds and things like that. Subscribe to the channel. You know the rest. I'm Sam Price. I'll see you at the beach.